People going through a divorce are likely experiencing the second most stressful life event they will ever experience, right below the death of a loved one. And so divorce is fraught with emotions. Emotions run high many times. That's the difficulty with people trying to do a divorce themselves. They are overcome with emotions, and at the same time, they have to think logically, analytically, and reason through their decisions, and it's extremely difficult to do that. The problem with that is that the decisions they make today are going to impact the rest of their life.
The divorce process in Florida is a very difficult process. It's not something that the average person can typically get through easily on their own. You can certainly go down to the courthouse and purchase the packet of papers that the clerk can sell you, and you can hand fill out all these documents and take them back and file them. But then what? Do you know what to do once those papers have been filed with the court?
And so while some people think, well, it's just a divorce, I just need to get out of my relationship, they're not thinking about those long-term effects of the decisions they make today while they're hindered by their emotions, while they're hampered by their emotions. And so that's why it's important to hire a professional, someone who has a map, so to speak, to help them get from point A to point B in the most healthy, efficient way possible. It's similar to if somebody was going to climb Mount Everest for the first time. Would they do it themselves, or would they hire an expert guide with the map? Well, in my world, Mount Everest is divorce, and I serve as that guide. I'm the expert with the map. I know the paths to take and the paths not to take. So I can help my clients avoid all those mistakes, all those pitfalls that they're not going to know about. When people are searching for a divorce lawyer, they don't know one firm from another. It's all apples to them. They can't figure out who's good and who's bad. So when somebody hires me, Leapfrog Divorce, they get experience. They get reputation. They get a lawyer who's very different from most other lawyers in this legal community.
As someone who has gone through the divorce process herself, I can tell you that having the right attorney and the right legal team on your side is going to be more important to you than you might even realize. You're going to go through so many different emotions. One day you're going to be angry, the next day you're going to be sad, or you might be feeling all those things at one time. On top of getting zealous and competent legal representation, what we're going to offer you at Leapfrog is the compassion that you are absolutely going to need while you're going through this process. It's going to be very important to have someone that understands what you're going through, what you're feeling on a day-to-day basis.
What my clients get with Leapfrog Divorce is they get an attorney who not only cares about their legal situation, but also places a high priority on their emotional well-being. Let's face it, as human beings, we are emotional. We feel first before we make any decisions based upon logic. And so that's important to me. And many of my colleagues, other divorce lawyers, take the opposite approach. And that is, I don't want to hear about your emotions. I don't want to hear about your feelings. If you want to talk about those things, go talk with your therapist. I'm here to get the facts that are important for your legal case and to know the law and apply it to your case.
We really genuinely care about our clients. We care about their children, their family. People have children that are very young when they're going through a divorce situation. And this may be somebody you have to co-parent with and deal with for the next 10 or 12 years of your life. And so not only are we going to do all the legal casework for you, but we want to be able to coach you and guide you through how to co-parent, how to do what's best for your child, how to get along with your soon-to-be ex-spouse. We want to be able to help you move on with your life peacefully and with as little drama and chaos as possible.
Marital relationships have a history. Whether it's 10 or 20 years, there's a history there. And oftentimes, conflicts, arguments, problems started long before somebody comes to me. And so while I didn't start the conflict, I can help people finish it. Many times I'll talk with people who are just fearful. They're filled with anxiety, and maybe it's because they just got served with divorce papers from their spouse. And in those divorce papers, there was all kinds of threatening language about taking children away or taking away financial support, something that is causing them to fear their future. And so that's one of the things that I help my clients with, is to ease their mind, ease their concerns, help them understand that no, you're not going to lose your children. No, you're not going to be out on the street living in a cardboard box. I do this day in and day out, and I don't see that. So let me protect you. Let me help you with my knowledge and my experience to make sure that you keep the relationship you have with your kids, to make sure that your financial future is protected.
We are going to handle your case in whatever manner it needs to be handled. Our goal is always to try to settle your case amicably with as little attorney's fees as possible, as quickly as possible, so that you can move on with your life and find some peace and happiness and get out of this really difficult emotional life experience that you're having.
Many people I talk to cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. They're in the middle of a divorce, getting ready to go through a divorce, and their lives are very dark. And when they talk to me, I like to shine a light. I like to provide them a guide to that light at the end of the tunnel. And so what I bring hope. I bring hope that everything's gonna be okay, that they're not gonna lose everything, that their life will go on. And so I encourage people to reach out to me. Give me a call, go to my website. I'm happy to help in any way I can to provide them hope so that they don't get lost in despair.